welcome back to the weekly wrap, and yes, we did it. We actually survived episode 1, and I'm just as shocked as you are. Honestly, after last week's technical chaos, I half expected this week's episode to be broadcast from a smoke-filled server room and on an iPad. But hey, we've made it to episode 2, and it's the sequel nobody asks for, but we're doing it anyway. Let's just hope this runs smoother than a politician dodging a question at a press conference. So in the meantime, let's get to the news. Anthony Albanese has officially met with Donald Trump in Washington this week. Yep, our Prime Minister and America's loudest man finally in the same room. The two discussed defence and they signed an $8.5 billion deal on critical minerals, or as Trump likes to call it, rocks that make America great again. Apparently it's about reducing dependence on China, which makes sense, because if anyone's going to dig us into a hole, it may as well be Australia. Albo said it was a productive and positive meeting, which is politician for I smiled through whatever that was. Meanwhile, America gets the minerals, we get the photo op, and China gets mildly offended. Everybody wins! But the real entertainment came from Trump roasting our former Prime Minister and current US Ambassador, Kevin Rudd.
I don't know anything about him. I mean, if he said bad, then maybe he'll like to apologize. I really don't know. Did an ambassador say something bad about him? Don't tell me. I don't. Where is he? Is he still working for you?
Yeah.
You said bad?
Before I took this position, Mr. President.
I don't like you either. I don't, and I probably never will.
Let's just say Rudd went from Kevin 07 to Kevin oh no real quick. Look, Rudd did say some pretty minor things about Trump on social media. Okay, maybe not that minor, but I do remember at the start of the year, people wanted Rudd sacked because Trump was on the record saying he didn't like him. But it's great Rudd didn't get the sack earlier in the year when people were calling for it, because if that hadn't happened, we wouldn't have gotten this gem of political comedy gold. And look at Albo. It didn't take much of him to rat out his mate, but in all seriousness, Albo represented Australia well. But his flight home, not so well. Albo's flight home from the US hit a bit of turbulence as well, and I don't just mean figuratively. The plane had to make an unscheduled emergency landing in Missouri after reportedly a piece of luggage fell on a Royal Australian Air Force crew member. Yes, luggage falling on a trained Air Force professional. Now every flight starts with that classic safety briefing no one listens to. Luggage may shift in the overhead bins. Clearly someone wasn't paying attention. Albo, Australia's most experienced frequent flyer, has the rules memorised, yet even he couldn't prevent a bag from becoming a weapon. The poor RAAF member will now have to deal with the US healthcare cost, which is basically the price of a small car. And no, Albo's frequent flyer points won't cover it. As for the plane itself, it probably deserved a break too. But all jokes aside, as I said, Albo did a good job for Australia. I'm just disappointed something more spicy didn't happen, because now I can't make jokes about it. Over in Port Douglas, a baby crocodile decided to crash a luxury pool party at the Sheraton Grand Mirage Resort. Guests were lounging around oblivious to their new reptilian neighbour, but one influencer did what every reasonable and responsible person should do. Get her phone out and capture it. Yes, the influencer wasn't like, I need to warn everyone and get out. No, I need the views. And the crocodile was hardly the photogenic type. He just laid there wondering why he wasn't getting tagged. Luckily, no one was hurt besides the crocodile's ego. The poor crocodile probably thought he was a failure. His crocodile dad trained him to be a big, scary predator to scare the civilians. But nowadays, we just look at him, laugh, and film. Man, I'd hate to see a rebooted Jaws movie. Instead of worried townspeople in a fishing boat trying to capture and kill the shark, it would be eager influencers wanting to go viral from the shark. The hotel tried to downplay the event, saying it was just one of the quirks of living in North Queensland, because nothing screams quirky quite like 30 degrees, sunny, and a 70% chance of being eaten. Over in India, a 74-year-old man faked his own death just to see who would care. And honestly, respect. That's taking ghosting your friends to a whole new level. The retired Air Force veteran faked his own death and asked his neighbours to throw a full traditional funeral, and they went all out on with a decorated beer, mournful songs, ritual chants. Basically, it was a full Bollywood drama. Hundreds of people showed up mourning, crying, and totally unaware that he was alive, laying right there in the coffin. And look, hats off to him. I'd be trying to contain my laughs as people walked up to the open coffin and, you know, said their prayers, whatever people do when they walk up to an open coffin. Look, in the end, the coffin was wheeled towards the crematorium right before the man sat up out of his coffin, freaking them out and making them have funeral trust issues for the next decade. The man's stunt was to prove a point, to check on your mates while they're still around. And look, what a great message. Amazon went down this week. Yep, the world's biggest online store and online platform vanished, making millions of people suddenly remember that real-life stores existed. But this generation panicked so hard they refused to leave the house because what if the Wi-Fi was down outside? So we all just stayed inside and waited. The worst bit? Alexa stopped answering questions, Ring cameras went dark, and people's smart fridges started being judgmental. One guy went to get a chocolate out of his fridge and the fridge displayed a motivational message. Experts said the outage would be temporary, just like your New Year's resolution. And of course, the conspiracy theories arrived, some claiming Amazon did it to make humans socialise. We as a generation are that introverted, these are the conspiracies going around. So while Amazon was down, we all learnt a lot, like how panicked we get without delivery, how sassy our fridges can be, and that apparently socialising is a government conspiracy. But don't worry, Amazon's back, the Wi-Fi works, and your fridge has probably forgiven you. For now. The Brisbane housing market continues to soar in a negative way, with many Brisbane suburbs' median house costing around $1 million. For $1 million, you get all the latest luxurious features with a roof over your head, natural lighting with the cracks in the walls, and your stingy neighbour who steals your Wi-Fi. ALDI has officially taken the world by storm. Yep, the supermarket with the tiny shopping carts and suspiciously cheap wine is now a global phenomenon, all thanks to the centre aisles. It is becoming the new Bunnings, and if you're yet to experience the centre aisles, you're missing out. The centre aisles change every week like your drunk decisions. By the end of your shopping trip, you're out here questioning every life choice you've made and all the things you've purchased. And tonight, to help us navigate the wonderland of bargains, we welcome ALDI Expert and star of the cheap seats, Jason Matthews. Good evening, Jason. How are you?
Good, mate. Good. Well, is it evening? Because you can see in the background daylight. So I don't want to ruin your bit
spoiled here, the magic of what TV is. Jason, before we start, congratulations on your star appearance on the cheap seats. How'd you feel?
Oh, it was one of my best 2-second performances I've ever done, Harrison. It was fantastic. But at least they didn't take the P155 out of me. So I was pretty happy with that. So, yeah.
Well, look, Jason.
I thought the first TV show I would have ended up on would have been A Current Affair, not the cheap seats. But anyway.
Well, either way, welcome to the program. Now, you are an ALDI expert. Look, do you shop at...
Am I?
Well, I thought you were. You shop at ALDI quite regularly, right?
Well, most people do because it's cheap.
So, look, you talk about ALDI. You've talked about it on your show on 4BC Mornings. Can you care to explain some of the interesting things you've found in ALDI?
Lawnmower. I bought a lawnmower one day. I went in to just get some grocery items and I came out with a lawnmower. And I had the smallest patch of lawn you could find on the planet. And I came home with a $150 lawnmower and it was the greatest thing I've ever bought in my life.
How do you explain that to the wife? She sent you out to go get groceries and you've come back with the lawnmower.
Well, I used to pay someone $40 to come and do this. I reckon the lawn would have been about as long and wide as a cricket pitch. And I used to get charged like $40 to get it done. So I think in the end, it ended up being a very good investment. My daughters, we bought an electric keyboard from ALDI.
Yeah, wow.
Because I was doing piano lessons and I was too cheap to pay for a piano. So we got an electric organ. I say electric, so I don't want you to think I bought like a kidney or something at ALDI. So electric organ from there. What else? I bought heaps of stuff, mate. It's the centre aisles. It's the best place to go.
Well, look, I've
But I know
never
that makes
been
me
to
an
ALDI
expert.
myself. It's becoming the new Bunnings, you say. Look, what can't you
It's
get from
better than
ALDI?
Bunnings.
It's better.
It's better than Bunnings. Yeah.
Of course. Well, look, Jason, before we wrap up this program for this evening, look,
This afternoon, mate. Look out the
yeah,
back.
this afternoon.
See?
Sorry. Look, I'm going to head to ALDI myself. Any tips and tricks before I head down the aisles?
Well, you got to work out what you want. You got to have a plan.
Well, you didn't have a plan. You bought a lawnmower.
Yeah, but I skipped straight past the fruit and veggies,
Is that a regular?
which is expected, right? No, but mate, you've got to go. I'm telling you, they also have some pretty good steak.
Okay.
Like, mate, Audi's terrific. I'm not doing an ad for Audi.
I thought
here,
you were
but,
for a
like,
second.
But if you're not going to Audi, then you're not going to Audi. Does that sound right?
No, it's very. I see what you've done there, Jason. Look, I'll leave you to it. Enjoy the cricket, and I hope to see you around on cheap seats sometime in the future.
Yeah, I hope so as well. Remember, folks, don't be fooled. It's not night time. Look out the back. The sun's out. He's lying to you.
Thank you, Jason.
Thank you, Harrison.
Bye, Jace. Have a good day, mate. That's Jason Matthews, everyone. And now it is time for our final story. Well, Schoolies may be at risk, which is every graduating partygoer's fear right now. They've spent thousands to party it up on the sand. The problem is, there is no sand. Cyclone Alfred took it all. The beaches are stripped so bare, even the naked schoolies are thinking maybe we went too far this time. Authorities say major events have been moved inland, which means this year's epic beach raves will now be held in car parks, parking lots, and possibly the odd roundabout. So congratulations, Schoolies 2025. Your biggest risk this year isn't bad decisions, it's stubbed toes. I know this news makes a lot of Schoolies people sad, so I'm going to show you that you don't need beaches to have a good time. Alright, we're driving all the way to the Gold Coast to assess this Schoolies situation. Now, the trip to the Gold Coast isn't the most enjoyable thing, let alone driving all this way to look at beaches, roundabouts, car parks, you name it, anything with cement we'll be looking at. But at least you'll be across the news with us on the Weekly Wrap. So we're here at Surfers Paradise, which is the host of Schoolies, and as you can see, look, Cyclone Alfred did a really good job knocking the sand out. There's a lot of reports saying that, Schoolies won't be held on the beaches, it'll be held more inland. So let's talk to some people on the streets, see what they think about Schoolies without sand, and prove to you it's not actually that bad without the sand.
Yeah, I went to Schoolies, and best part about it is the beaches. Hey, it wouldn't be Schoolies without the beaches.
Oh, I don't think it'll be as bad as people think it is, man. Yeah, just
Location number 1, the gravel car park. See, look, this isn't so bad, is it? I could see raves going on here. Imagine partying it up on a zebra crossing. Wouldn't that be awesome? Oh, sorry car. It's got to absolutely suck without the beach. Well, long story short, look, a car park, a zebra crossing and a few roundabouts isn't very exciting. So if they can't get the beaches in check in time, Schoolies is going to be a big fail. But I do know someone who knows how to party on the concrete. It's a Diwali festival here in Brisbane. Schoolies, you need to take notes. See, that wasn't so bad. And as always, what did we learn this week? This week we learned politicians smile through chaos. Luggage can attack. Crocodiles crash pool parties. You learn a lot from faking your own death. Brisbane homes cost $1 million for judgy neighbours, and ALDI will make you buy something you don't need. But until next time, good evening and good night, and I'll see you next week on the Weekly Wrap.